In nature, a single moment of lost control can completely change the course of events. Horns are not just a defensive tool. When used at the right time, they can reverse the situation and force an attacker to stop. But what happens next if the prey doesn't flee but instead holds its ground and regains control? Speed isn't always the deciding factor on the East African grasslands. Gazelles maintain a flexible distance, constantly adjusting their direction and pace to avoid being caught off guard. When a direction is maintained for too long in a single trajectory, the ability to change course in time diminishes, and the target becomes apparent. Taking advantage of this, the cheetah mother accelerates, closing the gap in a few beats and pinning the prey to the ground. At what seems like a secure moment of control, the gazelle quickly turns and counters with its horns, forcing the cheetah to release its grip and retreat. This reaction instantly reverses the situation. The gazelle widens the distance and moves out of danger before being pinned down again. And from that moment, the outcome is fixed. The gazelle escapes, and the cheetah is forced to stop the hunt. In the grasslands of East and South Africa, particularly in the Serengeti, wildebeest move in dense groups along migration routes near water sources. They stay close to the herd, maintaining tight distances and constantly adjusting their direction. When danger approaches, the herd turns almost simultaneously, and just before the distance is reduced to an unsafe level, the pace quickens noticeably. As soon as that threshold is broken, two lions approach from opposite sides. They keep their pace low, then accelerate simultaneously toward the target that has just strayed from the formation, closing the gap in a few short strokes. But at the moment of approach, the wildebeest suddenly turns and hooks its horns onto one of the lion's legs, causing it to lurch and lose momentum. When reflexes are maintained at the right moment, so the advantage shifts to the prey. Lions rely on coordination to close the distance, but wildebeest control the space with rapid and continuous changes of direction. In this confrontation, the wildebeest successfully escaped, forcing the two lions. When reflexes are maintained at the right moment, so the advantage shifts to the prey. Lions rely on coordination to close the distance, but wildebeest control the space with rapid and continuous changes of direction. In this confrontation, the wildebeest successfully escaped, forcing the two lions to give up. In the arid lands of North Africa, particularly the Sahara and semi-desert regions, oryxes survive in temperatures exceeding 120 degrees Fahrenheit. They move across deserts and dry grasslands, maintaining distance and constantly observing. When danger approaches, the herd's pace slows and they tighten their grip, closing the distance to an unsafe level, causing one oryx to become separated from the group and fall within range. As soon as the target is within range, two lions close in to block the escape route. They lower their bodies, accelerate briefly, closing the distance in a few breaths, seemingly having the upper hand. But at the moment of impact, the oryx spins decisively, thrusting its horns forward, forcing one lion to stop, retreat, and break the attack. That moment of broken rhythm is enough to reverse the course of the battle. Oryx maintained its distance with short strides and precise changes of direction, blocking any further attempts to approach. When the encirclement failed, the two lions stopped and retreated. In this confrontation, the oryx successfully fought back and forced the lions to give up. On the open grasslands of South Africa, particularly in the Serengeti, rhinos only appear in areas suitable for survival. Once mature, they have virtually no natural predators, thanks to their large size and ability to detect danger from afar. In open terrain, every movement is visible, and when the distance is squeezed to a point where safety cannot be maintained, the movements of both sides tighten, pushing the situation to the brink of collision. And just as the distance was almost eliminated, two lions approached simultaneously from both sides, keeping their bodies low and accelerating to close the gap. They sought an entry point from behind, but just as they were about to get close, the rhino sharply turned and charged straight into the source of danger. The distance was broken in the opposite direction, forcing both lions to stop and retreat. The momentum of the attack was broken, leaving no chance. The rhinoceros held its position, making short but continuous movements to block all approaches, maintaining pressure with each strike. After several unsuccessful attempts, the two lions were forced to retreat. The rhinoceros kept its calf's carcass, and the outcome clearly favored it. It's not speed, but the ability to maintain position that makes sable antelopes difficult to approach in the savannas and open woodlands of South and East Africa. In the tall grasses of about 3 to 5 feet in Zambia, they move slowly, keeping their sight and maintaining a steady distance. When the herd rhythm shifts, a gap forms, pushing a sable to the edge of control, from which the target begins to become apparent. From that exposed point, the lions follow the rhythm, applying pressure. When the distance closes, they accelerate briefly, locking direction and cornering the sable. At the point of being cornered, the sable turns, raises its horns, forcing a lion to stop and back away. This blocking action reverses the situation. The sable maintains its axis of movement, maintains distance, and prevents the gap from closing. When the closing circle doesn't close, the lions switch to pursuing from behind. In this encounter, the sable antelope survived, while the lion was forced to give up and wait for another opportunity. In the sub-Saharan grasslands of South Africa, buffalo congregate near water sources, which they must return to daily to survive. They move in herds with a clear hierarchy, maintaining tight formations and reacting almost instantly to any signs of danger. In rare situations, buffalo even turn back to rescue their mates, and this simultaneous turning usually occurs as soon as a predator enters close range. When the predator enters that range, an older male lion keeps its distance and observes the herd's movements. It moves slowly, using the terrain to approach, then suddenly accelerates when it spots a short gap. But at that very moment, the entire buffalo herd turns almost simultaneously, instantly shifting from defense to attack. Caught in the center of the formation, the lion quickly loses control. The buffaloes advanced in rhythmic bursts, using their horns to butt the lion head first, forcing it to retreat further and lose its distance. Already injured, the lion was unable to break free, and the pressure continued for an extended period. When the counterattack was sustained long enough, the situation completely changed. The lion no longer had a second chance. While the buffalo herd maintained its formation, the outcome became clear in that direction, and in this confrontation, the buffaloes forced the lion to its defeat. The quiet space beneath the sparse trees is where the leopard maintains its advantage. With its ability to camouflage itself and move almost silently, it often observes its prey for extended periods before acting. When two gazelles are engrossed in their confrontation and lose focus, their vigilance decreases, and an opportunity begins to form. Taking advantage of this moment, the leopard silently closes the distance and then suddenly leaps out from its hiding place. It subdues one gazelle and tries to maintain control. But during the struggle, the gazelle reacts fiercely, using its horns to resist and create space to escape. This reaction completely disrupts the hunting rhythm. The gazelle escapes its hold, while the other takes advantage of the space to leave the area. From that point on, the situation is irreversible. Both gazelles escape, and the leopard fails and is forced to abandon the hunt. It's not the one who rushes in first, but the one who controls the point of impact that determines the final outcome. In these situations, the prey doesn't just flee, but chooses the moment to react with high precision. It is that decision, made in a very short moment, that keeps them trapped in the harsh cycle of survival. Sun-scorched African grasslands, where even a grain of dust carries the marks of hunting and survival. The lion is not just a predator, but a symbol of fighting power in nature. Each step is an assertion of territory, and each roar is a signal of impending conflict. In every confrontation, it is forced to adapt, calculate, and be wary of its opponent. For it is not just a clash of claws and fangs, but a test of strategy, endurance, and the will to survive in a world where there is no room for complacency. Under the golden light of dawn, the lion appears calm, steady and alert. Called the King of Beasts, this title is not a symbol of dominance, but of balance. A full-grown male can weigh nearly 500 pounds and stretch over 8 feet from nose to tail. Its thick, dark mane serves both as armor in battle and as a signal of power to rivals and mates alike. Lions roam the savannas of sub-Saharan Africa and a small region of India, but it is on the vast plains of the Serengeti where their world comes most alive. A roar that carries for 5 miles declares both presence and warning. Each pride functions as a living unit led by related females who hunt and raise cubs together. Males guard the territory, their reign short but fierce. Beneath that raw power lies the rhythm of survival, a story of hunger, patience, and unity. A lion's day is not only about the chase, but about balance between rest and readiness. In that stillness, nature seems to hold its breath, waiting for movement. Because when the lion rises, the savannah watches. On the plains of Ngorongoro, hyenas are creatures of strategy. Lacking the lion's brute strength, they rely on intelligence, cooperation, and persistence. With a bite force of over 1,100 pounds per square inch, they are masters of patience, exploiting every weakness. They win not through might, but through unity. A lone lioness guards her kill. From afar, 15 hyenas appear, forming a crescent as their eerie laughter echoes. The lion roars and charges, scattering the first wave. At first, she dominates each strike, each lash of her tail, breaking their formation. but the hyenas endure taking turns, pressing closer, draining her strength. The standoff drags on her breath heavy as the pack tightens its circle. At last, she retreats, leaving the carcass behind. It is more than a fight for food. It is a battle between individual and collective. The hyenas prove a simple truth. The power of unity can overcome solitary strength. In the wild, cooperation is the ultimate form of survival. Afternoon settles over the Serengeti, so quiet that even insects can be heard through the golden haze. From afar, a mature giraffe walks gracefully yet firmly. Standing over 18 feet tall and weighing around 2,600 pounds, it is among the continent's tallest beings. Its long, slender legs are deceptively powerful. One kick can deliver over 2,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush a predator's skull. It embodies both grace and might. Hidden in the tall grass, 8 lions form a circle, moving like shadows. Each takes turns advancing and retreating, wearing down their prey. When the first attacks, the giraffe lashes out lightning-fast air, whistling around its hooves. One lion is thrown aside, but others press on. The standoff lasts over 15 minutes, neither side yielding. On the plains, it becomes a living testament to nature's fragile balance. The wild is not only a contest of strength, but of tactics, endurance, and patience. As dusk descends, the lions withdraw, while the giraffe stands tall in the dust, a living monument to persistence and the wisdom of survival. In the wetlands of the Okavango Delta, where the sun glints like molten steel on the water, the African buffalo stands as a fortress of nature. Weighing more than 1,500 pounds with thick hide and crescent horns, it is not just prey, but an armored tank of the plains. Buffaloes live in large herds, alert and united. When danger approaches, they move as one, reacting with the precision of a single organism. A pride of lions surrounds a lone buffalo trapped in shallow water. Manes hang low, eyes glint in the sunlight, and every motion is measured. At a subtle flick of a tail, the signal is given. The pride charges, dust rises, and the air vibrates with roars. This is the moment where strength, chaos, and unpredictability merge. But the buffalo does not flee. It turns to fight, muscles, coiled horns flashing like blades. One strike can toss a 400-pound lion into the air, sending shockwaves through the ground. The pride scatters, retreating in confusion, their eyes still sharp with caution. In nature, where instinct is the only law, the buffalo, responsible for nearly 30% of lion deaths, proves that hunters do not always claim victory. Morning in Savuti, the ground cracked and dry, the wind heavy with the scent of burnt grass. From a burrow, a small warthog emerges, tusks glinting in the light. Weighing only about 150 pounds, it relies on agility and sharp instinct. In this harsh world, size is not the key to survival. A lioness spots her target confident and experienced. She believes the small prey will fall easily. But as she charges, the warthog turns to fight. Its tusks slice the air inches from the lion's chest. The predator hesitates, then backs off, wary of the courage it underestimated. The clash is brief, fierce, and unpredictable, a reminder of nature's surprises. That moment becomes a lesson. Even apex predators can err. Blind confidence leads to defeat, while courage can belong to the small. When the dust settles, the warthog vanishes into the trees, leaving the lion standing silent in the wind, a reminder that in the wild, power is not a privilege, but a responsibility of instinct and wisdom. Across the dry plains of Etosha, where pale dust coats the thorn bushes, a rhino moves like living stone. A mother and calf walk slowly, ears twitching to every sound. Though nearly blind, their senses of smell and hearing are razor sharp, alerting them to danger long before it nears. Weighing over 5,000 pounds with a horn up to 3 feet long, the rhino is a giant few dare to test. Under a nearby tree, 2 lions rest. When the wind shifts, the scent of the calf makes them tense. One lioness lifts her head, eyes following the pair. Instinct takes over and she creeps forward step by step. But the mother rhino senses threat and charges like a storm. The ground erupts under her hooves. One violent thrust sends both lions scattering beneath her fury. No blood is shed, but the scene is proof of a mother's instinctive power. In the wild, it is not the hungry, but the protector who is most feared. As the dust settles, the rhinos move on, and the lions stand motionless in the wind, as if understanding that some boundaries are not meant to be crossed. When maternal instinct awakens, no force can stand against it. Beneath the fierce sun of Chobe, a massive hippo emerges from the river. Its 4,000-pound body glistens under the light jaws opening to reveal 20-inch tusks. With a bite force of over 1,800 pounds per square inch, the hippo is no gentle giant, but a ruler of the shallows where intruders pay dearly. On the riverbank, a group of lionesses hides among low grasses, eyes fixed on the hippo resting ashore. Hunger drives risk. One lioness lunges and the others follow, but the ground trembles as the hippo bellows and charges like living steel. Its jaws snap shut inches from the lion's flank. The lioness escapes by a heartbeat, sprinting through a storm of dust as the enraged hippo pursues. The attack ends quickly, but the lesson endures. In the wild territory matters more than hunger. It is the boundary of power and pride. As the river calms, the lions retreat in silence, while the hippo stands in the rising mist, a symbol of warning that in Africa, survival is measured by instinct and resolve. In the wild, crocodiles don't chase but choose to wait, and that very stillness is their most dangerous trap. They lurk beneath the seemingly calm water like master ambushers, striking with patience, precision, and devastating bite force, turning every moment into a fragile boundary where instinct, survival, and the price of a mistake are separated by just one bite. The timeless warrior crocodile is one of the oldest creatures left on Earth. Appearing more than 200 million years ago, it has survived the age of the dinosaurs, seen mountains rise and fall, and has remained steadfast amid the planet's changes. Today, the American alligator is still considered the soul of the swamps of the southeastern United States, especially in Louisiana and Florida. Adult crocodiles can grow up to 13 feet long and weigh more than 1,000 pounds. Its jaws produce a bite force of about 2,000 pounds per square inch, strong enough to crush turtle shells. Its armor, like scales, reflects sunlight, giving it the appearance of living steel lurking beneath the surface. Cold-blooded, crocodiles bask in the sun to conserve body heat, then quietly slip into the water when it gets hot. When the dry season comes, crocodiles dig alligator holes, small ponds that help fish and turtles survive. In a world of constant change, it does not need to compete. The silence and perseverance that has allowed the crocodile to survive for millions of years symbolizes the enduring power and amazing adaptability of nature. The symbol of silent strength. Pythons are known for their ability to constrict prey to the point of immobility. Some large specimens can grow to over 20 feet in length, enough to subdue many small animals, but not all opponents are easy to predict. In a Florida swamp, a large python wrapped itself tightly around an American alligator that was sunning itself, but within seconds, The alligator fought back violently, its body twisted, its tail swatting at the mud, its jaws wide open with a bite force of more than 2,000 pounds per square inch. The python, stunned, loosened its grip and retreated into the bushes. This time, it was the attacker who was forced to give up. A brief but profound lesson about the limits of nature. Wildebeests, the great African migration animals, live in herds of thousands, constantly moving between dry grass and green fields during the rainy season. Each adult can weigh up to 600 pounds, with their muscular bodies and durable legs helping them cover hundreds of miles across the savannas of Tanzania and Kenya. But the road is not smooth. On that journey, the Mara River is a test of life and death. In the middle of the murky Mara River, a 17-foot-long Nile crocodile hides in the cold mud for days, waiting for the wildebeest migration. As thousands rush into the river in chaos, hooves ring, the water sprays, the crocodile leaps out of the water. With a precise bite, it clamps down on the neck of a wildebeest that has just hit the river. There is no chance of resistance. A single, well-timed bite pulls the wildebeest into the water, quickly immobilizing it in silence. The herd behind it scatters in panic. For the crocodile, it is a reward after days of waiting without moving. During migration, a single well-placed strike can keep it alive for months to come. For the gazelle, crossing a river is inevitable. For the crocodile, it is simply a matter of patiently waiting for the right moment. Sometimes those few seconds can mean the difference between life and death. The fastest cheetah on the planet was born to conquer the plains with speed. An adult can reach speeds of more than 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds of acceleration. But speed is an advantage on land, not in water. One quiet morning, a young cheetah approached the water's edge to drink. Seconds later, the water broke. A 16-foot-long Nile crocodile burst out of the mud, its bite estimated at 16,000 newtons, and gripped the cub's neck. Dragged underwater, the cub struggled desperately. It kicked, turned, and fought back instinctively, but under the water, the odds were in the crocodile's favor. The struggle was over quickly. On the dry plains near the Mara River, lions are king. With strength and pack strategy, they rule the turf and watch every sound. A full-grown lioness can weigh up to 300 pounds, possessing powerful pounces, razor-sharp claws, and wordless coordination among her group members. Wanderers must be wary of their territory. But crocodiles are not so easily subdued. One hot afternoon, a nearly 14-foot Nile crocodile was basking on the sun-baked sand near a shallow waterhole. It was a place both lions and crocodiles frequented. As the sun slanted west, 9 lion cubs approached from a distance. They were not experienced enough to recognize the danger lying motionless before them. In a shallow waterhole, a crocodile measuring more than 13 feet long was sunning itself when 9 young lions approached. 5 adult lionesses appeared, surrounding the crocodile. One gently nudged its tail, causing the crocodile to respond with a powerful bite. The lions coordinated, pressing in from many sides. The crocodile struggled on the ground, forcing it to retreat toward the water. When it hit the surface of the lake, it disappeared. No one was injured. This was not a hunt, but a territorial clash, a tense but familiar situation between 2 rulers of the water and grass. Zebras, the iconic African savanna, often travel with herds of wildebeest during their long migrations. Though smaller, at about 770 pounds, they are no less tough. Their distinctive black and white stripes make them easy to spot on land, but in the water, they are easy targets. Zebras often lag behind when crossing the Mara River. Slow swimmers, easily separated from the herd, calves and weak individuals are quick targets. A nearly 16-foot Nile crocodile lurked on the bank. As the herd fell, it charged forward, its jaws clamping at over 3,000 pounds per square inch around the neck of an adult. The zebra struggled fiercely, kicking repeatedly, spraying white foam. After a few tense seconds, the crocodile released its jaws. The zebra staggered to the bank, the river still churning in chaos behind it. This chaotic and dangerous scene happens every year. In the stampede and panic of the current, the success rate of a crocodile crossing is only about 10 to 30%, depending on the number of crocodiles and the speed of the crossing. But for an ambush hunter, just one chance is enough to sustain life for months. And for a zebra, surviving the crossing is the greatest gift nature can give. Gazelles are small, agile, and always alert. They usually live in small herds, well adapted to the arid steppe. But when they get close to water, especially during the dry season, they become vulnerable. A male gazelle approached a shallow waterhole. Just as he bent down, the water surface burst open. A crocodile over 16 feet long jumped out, a bite force of over 16,000 newtons tightly gripping his neck. The gazelle struggled desperately, but its light weight quickly pulled it into the water and disappeared into the mud. When the dry season came, the water surface receded. The herd was divided, and the crocodiles' hunting opportunities increased. Although not the main prey, gazelles still accounted for 15 to 25% of the ration in crowded areas. Each accurate bite helped the crocodile maintain life for many days. As for the gazelle, just a second of hesitation could cost a life. In the frozen wilderness of North America, where glaciers meet the ancient forests, the grizzly bear emerges as the embodiment of raw power. Every breath echoes thousands of years of survival. Every step a challenge to nature itself. In a world where only the strong endure, it fights not just to live, but to keep the rhythm of the wild alive. Here, every hunt and every encounter stands as proof of instinct, intelligence, and the order of life. The grizzly bear, an icon of North America, ranges from Alaska and Canada to the Rocky Mountains. Its massive frame and prominent shoulder hump give it the strength to dig and strike with tremendous force. Its claws, reaching up to 4 inches long, serve not only as deadly weapons but also as perfect tools for survival. An adult grizzly weighs between 270 and 400 kilograms, while males living near coastal areas can exceed 540 kilograms. Its thick fur shields it from the cold wind, and its muscular build allows it to move swiftly through forests, valleys, and snow-covered tundra. After thousands of years of evolution, the grizzly stands as a model of adaptation. It digs for roots, catches salmon, hunts deer, or gathers berries depending on the season. Through these roles, it helps regulate prey populations, balance food resources, and maintain the health of the ecosystem. When salmon return, Alaskan rivers turn into shimmering ribbons of silver. Thousands swim upstream to spawn a journey written into their species. At the waterfalls, the grizzly waits, entering a feeding state called hyperphagia to store fat for the winter. The sound of rushing water blends with the predator's breath. The bear stands firm, eyes locked on movement below. When the moment arrives, it strikes swift, precise, decisive. A salmon leaps from the falls, and in that instant, an ancient ritual of life is renewed, one that has endured for millennia. After each meal, the remains of salmon and nutrients sink into the soil under the bear's steps. From there, the forest feeds, trees grow, and life continues. The grizzly is not only a hunter, but a bridge between river and forest, returning energy to the earth and embodying the endless cycle of nature. During the mating season, the northern forests grow tense. Each mature male grizzly controls a vast territory spanning dozens of square kilometers, where it feeds and seeks mates, but boundaries don't last forever. When two males meet, the confrontation begins with stares, roars, and posturing. Backs arch, shoulders tighten, breaths rumble through the forest. They don't aim to kill, but to test endurance and dominance. The fight often ends when one retreats, restoring order and balance. The victor earns the right to mate and guard its territory. This is not merely a contest of strength, but a ritual of nature, a symbol of hierarchy and discipline that has existed since the dawn of the wild. In the endless cycle of life, the grizzly does not hunt indiscriminately. It targets the weak, the young, or the injured. Each attack, brief yet fierce, helps keep the herd stronger, allowing the fittest to thrive. This is the law of natural selection, where life and death coexist in quiet order. The grizzly becomes nature's unseen hand, sustaining the rhythm of renewal. What appears as raw instinct is, in truth, ancient wisdom and equilibrium the entire ecosystem depends on to endure. At the edge of the Yukon forest, the howls of gray wolves echo through the misty dawn. They move in packs of around 10, coordinating through glances, movements, and deep calls. In their world, strategy and unity are the keys to survival. When the grizzly appears, the air changes. Both species understand the law of the wild. Whoever controls the food controls life itself. The wolves lower their bodies, forming a circle, while the bear steps forward slowly but with pressure. It doesn't need to roar. Its heavy breathing and piercing gaze are enough to command respect. Often, no fight is needed. The bear reclaims the kill through presence, weight, and dominance. The wolves know the risk isn't worth it. They retreat, yielding the prize to the stronger one. That moment shows mutual respect between two apex predators, one representing solitary power, the other teamwork. The encounter reminds us that in nature, There is no absolute victory, only balance maintained through understanding and limits. In the same forest, grizzlies and black bears sometimes share territory, but the grizzly's presence alone signals retreat. One step, one look, or even a faint scent on the wind is enough for the smaller bear to understand it should leave. With its larger body and commanding nature, the grizzly dominates without conflict. This is how nature prevents unnecessary battles and divides resources efficiently. In silence, order is preserved, and the forest continues its sacred rhythm. On the plains bordering the rocky forests, a herd of white-tailed deer grazes quietly. The alert ones lift their heads, ears rotating to catch every sound in the air. In their world, silence means danger. Hidden among the trees, a grizzly watches patiently, a master shaped by time. Despite weighing hundreds of kilograms, the grizzly can sprint up to 35 miles per hour, 56 kilometers per hour. This is not reckless power, it's a calculated burst. Before attacking, it studies the wind direction to mask its scent and chooses the ideal ambush point along the deer's path. Its silence is not idleness, but a strategy refined through generations of survival. When the moment comes, the grizzly lunges forward like a living mass of muscle. Each step is heavy, yet precise. The deer leaps to flee, but instinct reacts too late. The bear uses its weight, speed, and shoulder strength to bring the prey down. The sound is brief, and then the forest falls silent again. Morning mist blankets the Alaskan marshes. A massive bull moose approaches the water's edge, weighing over 680 kilograms with antlers spreading nearly 6 feet wide, a symbol of vigilance and strength. From afar, a grizzly has been watching every step. The bear doesn't strike impulsively. It knows the terrain, the muddy ground where the moose may lose balance, the shifting wind that conceals its scent. For minutes, it stands motionless, patient as stone, waiting for the perfect moment. Instinct and calculation merge as silence becomes a weapon. When the time arrives, the grizzly bursts from the swamp's edge, using the slick ground to make the moose stumble. Its weight and speed combine in a single decisive strike. The moose struggles, but gravity and soft earth betray it. In the heavy breath of the forest, the battle ends swiftly. It's not brutality, but evolutionary intelligence that decides victory. The grizzly, both hunter and strategist, proves that in nature, strength only matters when paired with patience and understanding. From the icy regions of Antarctica to the warm waters of the Pacific Ocean, orcas appear as a powerful shadow, where every movement can initiate a hunt. They possess not only immense strength, but also sharp intelligence and the ability to coordinate with a silent army, patiently cornering their prey. In each hunt, their true power lies not in their muscles, but in their intelligence and teamwork, allowing them to dominate the ocean. In the cold waters of the North Pacific, the huge black silhouette of a killer whale, or orca, glides across the surface of the ocean. Despite its fearsome name, orca are the most intelligent, social, and emotional creatures in the ocean. Killer whales are the largest dolphins, measuring 25 to 30 feet long and weighing more than 8,000 pounds. Males have dorsal fins nearly 6 feet high. Standing out against the cold ocean, they are distributed everywhere but are most numerous in Alaska and the northwest coast of the United States. As apex predators, orca hunt everything from salmon to seals. Each group, called a pod, has its own hunting style, passed down through generations. They live in a matriarchal society, with older females leading the group and teaching their young survival skills. Not only are orcas strong, they are also intelligent, deeply aware of the world around them. Each rising breath is a sign of vitality and harmony with the ocean. In the vast ocean, giants like humpback whales and minke whales float in the deep blue water. Measuring more than 40 feet long and weighing tens of tons, they seem invulnerable. But even these majestic creatures have a challenger, the killer whale. Orcas do not attack randomly. They are selective, often targeting calves or weak adults. The pods are divided. Some swarm from the front, some ram from the side, and others attack from the tail to knock their prey off balance. The slapping of tails and the powerful thrusts create a ferocious melee in the open sea. When their prey is distracted, Orca focus their attacks on the belly or tongue, a critical weak point. They patiently coordinate their attacks, separating calves from their mothers or taking down minkies with tactical precision. The hunts are over quickly, but leave behind dark shadows gliding across the water, a symbol of the strength, intelligence, and teamwork that has helped them dominate the oceans. In the frigid waters of Antarctica, icebergs drift silently. Leopard seals rest on them, seemingly safe, with bodies nearly 10 feet long, weighing up to 1,000 pounds, and powerful jaws. The seals are formidable predators of the ice. They can dash up the ice, avoiding most predators. But beneath the dark water, a familiar shadow approaches the killer whale. A group of 4 orcas swim side by side, their tails pounding the water. Artificial waves rise and crash onto the ice floe. Seals slide off the ice and fall into the cold sea. The hunt can last up to 30 minutes. Several times, the seal manages to bounce back onto the ice, forcing the whales to try again and again, patiently like true strategists. Some orcas venture onto the ice to snatch sea lion pups, risking stranding. During breeding season, each animal needs to eat about 3 pups a day, making the risk worthwhile. Sometimes they toss seals dozens of feet into the air, both to stun their prey and as exercise or game. The hunt ends with a powerful gasp and the cold crash of the waves, where strength, intelligence, and teamwork come together, telling the unyielding rhythms of nature. Between the warmer waters of California and the southern coast of Alaska, another predator reigns supreme, the great white shark. At more than 20 feet long and weighing more than 4,000 pounds, it is a symbol of power, speed, and a killer instinct. But in the natural world, no position is permanent. Another shadow is closing in on the killer whale. Orcas don't attack indiscriminately. They choose carefully, observing from a distance and coordinating their attacks with surgical precision. A single charge from an adult orca can be powerful enough to break a great white's ribs. After the collision, they don't rush to finish the shark off, but wait for the shark to weaken, then close in at the perfect moment. The target is not the whole body, but the liver, an organ that contains the energy-rich oil squalene. Scientists have recorded many cases of white sharks washing ashore with the liver removed, the body intact. In each hunt, the orca demonstrates an amazing ability to select nutrients, only take the most valuable part, leave the rest. The hunts are short but precise. The orca uses waves, sound, and terrain to confuse the shark then strike the decisive blow. When the sea is calm, only a faint white foam remains of the apex predator, where strength and intelligence become one. On Antarctic ice floes, the tiny penguins, about 2 to 3 feet tall and weighing between 20 and 80 pounds depending on the species, are clumsy on land but agile in the water. With their thick layers of blubber and high energy levels, they are tempting prey for killer whales. As the penguins swam in the open water, the dark silhouette of the orca quietly closed in. They worked together to create waves, forcing the birds into the middle, then flicked their tails, sending a foaming spray across the surface. A few penguins desperately darted onto tourist boats to escape, while the orca circled, waiting for the perfect moment. The chase was brief but intense, leaving the calm sea with the imprint of the ocean's dogged instinct and cold power. In the shallows, stingrays glide gracefully along the sandy bottom. With their venomous tails, they are usually feared. But in the eyes of killer whales, it is an opportunity for challenging play. The orca approaches slowly, observes, then suddenly slaps its tail, kicking up sand and stunning the ray. But it doesn't eat. It just circles its prey as if testing its strength. It's a pattern repeated over and over again, a form of practice, a test, a game. Not every attack is for food. Sometimes it's a way for the orca to hone its skills, to keep its reflexes, and to demonstrate the innate learning instincts of the ocean's smartest predators. In the warm waters of the Pacific Ocean, dolphins, a symbol of agility and intelligence, swim in large pods. They can reach speeds of nearly 35 miles per hour and constantly change direction to avoid predators. But on the water's horizon, black and white dorsal fins part the waves of killer whales. Orca hunt dolphins not for rivalry, but for the energy they provide. Dolphin meat is rich in fat and protein, a prized prize in the frigid ocean. When hunting, orca can reach speeds of 34 miles per hour, launching prey out of the water to stun them. Each tail strike is a precise strike, calculated over decades of evolution. They rarely attack indiscriminately. The pod works closely together, some separate from the dolphins. Some chase from behind, while others block their escape routes. They target weak or injured individuals, where survival instincts are not fast enough to counter the collective intelligence. Dolphins are fast, agile, and intelligent, but against the orca's strategy, they rarely have a chance to escape. The hunt ends quickly, leaving the sea flat, only the echoes of power and precision, proving that in the wild, those who understand the rhythms of nature are the ones who rule. The ultimate outcome doesn't depend on who acts first, but on the ability to precisely control the point of impact. In many situations, prey not only flee but also actively choose the moment to react with high accuracy. It is this split-second decision that shapes their survival in the harsh cycle of nature.